Hey, all you zealots and zerglings. We have a 1 versus 1 for you today, and a good one too. Well, actually, I guess I can't say that. I haven't seen this yet, so I have no idea what happens. But this is a 3 West 1v1, a concept which I hope gains a lot more popularity. Because it's always good to see how we match up mono a mono. And this mono is Dunamai as the red Protoss. He is playing against Wolfpack, the yellow Terran. The map is Jungle Basin, and let's get right into the, well, not action. Not for quite some time yet. Now, Jungle Basin is an interesting map. I've never played it myself, but I have seen quite a few replays on it. You actually have this ramp here into an expansion that is pretty much in base. This is an easy expansion to take. This is where a lot of people go for very early expansions, even if you're a race that doesn't really early expand. The only thing you got to watch out for is these backdoor rocks. If these goes down, you can get in some major trouble. But your first base is usually pretty easy to take. Now your third base is the front door to your base. Your third base is usually this one, which is right in the center of the map. I mean, your opponent's third is right over here. So once people go for a third base on this map, it gets pretty hairy. And then you have these two corner bases, which I've not really seen a consistent way of knowing which one goes for which person. I guess it's whichever one you want to take, but they are not easy to defend. I mean, there are several ways to access them. It's hard to get reinforcements there, so games that go late here, it's very hard to hold on to your bases. So it's a very short rush distance, more or less. So anything that goes in mid to late game can get pretty interesting. A lot of back and forth, trying to take control of the center of the map. So maybe we'll have something that exciting here today. I don't know. We do have a gateway ready for Dunamai, and he's going to throw... Oh, wait, no, he's not going to throw it on his cyber court. Oh, he decides to throw it there. He wants to reposition it a little bit. Maybe doesn't want it on the front line.Maybe he's afraid he might block off his front door. And pumping out a zealot. He does have a spy here. I don't know if he can get out. It's so hard to tell if he can escape. I don't think he can. I don't know if he just tried or he decided he wanted to stay in here. Although if Wolfpack's not careful, he could have a proxy pylon in his base. Because there are a lot of places he could put it. So he might want to vanquish this probe as soon as he can. The Cybernetics Core is just finishing, and if we get some warp gate technology coming, we could very well see a proxy. And we could go home early and have cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep things alive. I guess both players have a worker hiding in the base, although there's a lot. Well, you guys throw down a proxy barracks. That could be very effective here. And a second gateway going down here for Dunamai. Looks like we have a 3 Rex for Wolfpack, who's not really producing off of any of these, and he could be. He really should be. Probably throwing down a supply depot now wouldn't be a bad idea either, just to be safe. Throwing down a mule. That's very good. And what is that? Marine's just looking for proxy pylons. If he is, that's excellent, but he really needs to check down here. Interesting thing about this map, it is possible to throw a pylon out here, just outside these rocks, and be able to warp inside your opponent's natural. So that is always something you've got to be very, very mindful of, because it does happen. Oh, we do have a tech lab going down, and a factory. I guess I could check the production tab. Not much going on it right now, and we are starting to see some add-on activity here for Wolfpack. And we do have a stalker building for Dunamai. I don't see his warp gate technology researching, and I'm sure it's not done. It is not done yet. I'm very disappointed. You need to get those warp gates going right now. Maybe, well, I was going to say maybe he ran low on gas, but he did waste gas on a stalker somewhere, which is 50 gas that he could be spending on his warp gate technology. And now he definitely has the gas for it. Oh, wow, we had a lot of activity here for Wolfpack. Looks like he's getting his gas. A Marine Marauder. Oh, he's got double gas. And looks like Dunamai is ready to take his expo. He does have the resources for it. He really needs to be throwing down that Nexus now. I'm surprised nobody has an expo yet. This is literally like one of the easiest expos you will ever get in this game. But now he's dropped below his ability to get his Nexus, and he's back up again. We need to see a Nexus coming here pretty soon. And warp gate technology. Maybe if I click on it for him. Maybe if I click harder. Oh, wow, it actually worked. Wow, that's never worked before. I gotta do that more often. Make these replays go exactly the way I want them to. Oh, and we have siege mode researching here for wolfpack, which is tanks are very, very powerful on this map. You can throw tanks in the center and just, I mean, if he puts a command center here, turns it into a planetary fortress, put some tanks around it, ain't nothing getting through that. Seriously, I've seen it many, many times. And a photon cannon for Dunamai. I wonder where he's putting that. Oh, he does have a pylon here. He's blocking the expo, although he's not taking his own, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. And where is he? No, he's just sort of a defensive photon cannon. I don't think he needs it. I think it's a waste of resources, although he has plenty he could be spending. And we do have concussive shells for wolfpack. Seems to be going mostly marine. I'd like to see him get a few more marauders if he's going to bother with the concussive shells. Especially if that's his first upgrade. If that's his first upgrade, we need to see some more marauders. We do have 2 marauders and another one on the way. And his first tank is out. Siege mode is ready. And a Twilight Council for Dunamai. See, you know, if he got his warp gate technology a long time ago, he could already have stuff in this base. But his warp gates are finishing. Is he going to use that to warp into the natural? I don't know how much damage they can do. There's a lot of forces here. And a siege tank, which is... Oh, it almost covers the ramp, but they could sneak through. And we got a scouting SCV here, and we are moving out here for Dunamai. Some zealots, couple stalkers, couple sentries. Going to take a peek at the watchtower. And oh, that poor SCV. So young, we hardly knew ye. Oh, and a robotics facility for Dunamai, so he's just kind of doing a everything build. And I'm not really sure why he got this Twilight Council. He's not getting any of the upgrades. He's not getting... now he's a little behind on it. So he's going to get a Templar Archive, so I'm not sure why he's getting this Robo facility. Maybe he just wants to pump out an Observer, but he really needs to pick a tech tree. He is getting an Observer, which I guess it's okay. Most people don't get an Observer if they're not going for the Robo tree, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. And a +1 weapons for Wolfpack. Do we have... Well, obviously we have a Forge, because we saw the Photon Cannon before, but no upgrades researching yet. We should really get on top of that. Oh! And we do have a couple of Stalkers in here, but they are not going to last long, and he's throwing down another pylon. Let's see if Wolfpack sees this after this goes down. Is he going to search for it? Yeah, he's going to find that right away, and this probe is probably not long for this world either, because they obviously know there's a probe around here somewhere. And he's going to cancel that. Smart move, Dunamai. But not doing anything else right now. I'd really like him to be spending these 900 minerals. And the Templar Archives is done, but now his Templar Archives is done, and now he's going to get an Immortal and Psystorm. Pick a tech path, please. You would be amazed at what you can get out when you take a tech path and go with it. And oh, it looks like we've had to use an unfortunate supply drop here for Wolfpack. I try to avoid these, although unless it's just a little fun group game, then I usually get them because I don't want to waste my time building supply depots. And we do have a medevac out for Wolfpack, trying to get another one. He is supply blocked again, and this SCV's like, alright, I'll take care of that. But it is going to take a while to build that. He almost wants to pull a couple SCVs off the line, because this is going to hurt him as he starts building up resources. And he might even want to start getting this upgrade, so since he has the resources and he can't make anything right now. And this observer is going to go peeking around in here. We have a missile turret to spot this. I don't see any missile turrets currently. We do have the expansion going down for Wolfpack. We also have the expansion going down for Dunamai. Kind of a late expansion for this map, but they are finally getting them. It looks like we have both watchtowers controlled by Dunamai, because Wolfpack is content just to sit in his base. Oh, but he's loading up he's getting ready for a drop here. So we got to keep an eye on that. Oh, but Psystorm is done, and now he's going to be getting Blink. So wow, he's just jumping all over his tech path right now. And he does have some Templar out. They don't have enough energy for Psystorm yet. I would like to see him get that Kadarin Amulet if this is the route he's going to go. Because Kadarin Amulet, High Templar's starting energy is increased by 25, which I think is enough. I think they start out with 50, so that is enough for a Psystorm the moment they spawn. And it looks like this drop is getting dangerously close. And this observer is just going to spot the front door. This is a lot of stuff. There's no way the Dunamai is breaking down this front door, but he's got to be a little more concerned about his back door because he is about to get dropped on. And I would also like to see, oh, he's going to get a scan down here, which should be an indication that maybe he should do something. He's going to get gas. Now, it may be fortunate that he didn't saturate this because there's very few pros to actually die, but this dropship could stick around. It does have ability to heal. It's not like you drop it off and it's worthless. But right now, he is going uncontested. And what do we got here? Oh, it's just a proxy pylon. He's not doing anything with it yet. And he got a couple of Marines to spot his back rocks. That's nothing wrong with that. And here comes the response team, but I'm sure Immortal's what you want. Two Marauders are not going to do that much that you need to bring the Immortal. And now what are they doing? Apparently they're just going to let the Zealot take care of it. And he's going to get Psystorm that Marauder. But Psystorm is not really that good for Marauders. That was kind of a wasted Psystorm, if you ask me. Just send the Zealot in there, finished off. They were focusing down the pylon for some reason. Oh, and Dunamai's going to take a quick third, which I think makes absolutely no sense because he's not even saturating his natural yet. And in fact, even this base could use some more saturation, if you ask me. We check the income tab, and he is actually way behind. Wolfpack is out macroing. He's got 31 harvesters to 21. So it does look like Wolfpack does sort of have a bit of a lead right now. We check the army size. Oh, wow. He has a huge lead. He's got a 50 army advantage. Units lost. Yeah, he has lost a little bit, but I don't think that's going to matter too much at this point. So he's got a huge advantage, and I really think Dunamai might be in a bit of trouble if he does not start doing something. And it looks like we do have some movement, but he would be very foolhardy. Oh, he's moving out because it looks like he's got Marines coming to sneak into his base. This should be enough to clean it up, especially if they're going to focus down the Nexus. There's no way they're going to focus that down. Yeah, you got to tech the units. You're not even going to get bust through the shields on that, so that is a wasted effort. And they're going to sneak this way, but they need to stay away from this. They get in range of those siege tanks. They are history, and they're getting dangerously close to it now. Although Stalkers could snipe that dropship, or they could even do a feedback on that. One feedback on that dropship would be history. But this looks like the Stalkers are. Oh, it's gonna go down. So that was a bad place to park us. He should have brought it back over here, and we can heal his units. But he needs, and he is still way behind in the army, and he needs to do something about that very soon. We check the income tab again. Oh, he is now ahead despite having 10 fewer harvesters. Oh, and how did these Stalkers... Oh, he blinked his Stalkers up there. I forgot he was researching blink, so this will actually do a little bit of damage, but these Stalkers are not going to last long. And, oh, one of them is going to get out. Oh, and a Psystorm on the Marines! That is a great Psystorm. I don't know where he got the Psystorm from, but it is going to soften up some of those Marines and could bring the medevacs over there to kind of help heal them. And now he's going to watch his flank, and oh, the siege tank is going to try Psystorm! Oh, and they're going to run right back into it. That is not good for these Marines. And they're getting very, very weak now. So that was actually a pretty good Psystorm there. And now they're going to retreat to the medevacs and try to heal themselves up. So I don't know, this Psystorm harassment could work, except that Wolfpack has enough tanks to basically cover his entire wall here and never let another Templar anywhere near his base. But he is on 3 bases. Okay, I'm not going to call him on 3 bases because he's not doing anything with this. Oh, and he needs to be rallying these guys to the minerals. And he needs a ton more saturation here. He's starting to run a little low here, so he probably doesn't necessarily need to saturate this any longer, but he definitely needs to saturate his other bases desperately. Desperately. Dunamai, make more probes. In fact, look he's got full energy on that Nexus, full energy on that Nexus, full energy on that Nexus. He could be pumping out tons of probes and chrono boosting the heck out of them. Meanwhile, Wolfpack's got great saturation here. Although his main is completely tapped. That is probably why he's behind in the economy right now, or the income right now. He really needs to think about taking a third. And he's also... his money's kind of low, so that's not bad. He probably could start building some more supply depots, though, because I bet he gets to that limit soon. Oh, we do have some movement here. Looks like Dunamai's going to try this again, but again, this is a lot of tanks. This is not going to do it. He does have some immortals. They will soak up a lot of that tank damage, but I think there's just too much here. There is just too much, and that tank could siege up too. Okay, it doesn't look like he's going to take it. He's just kind of posturing, positioning. You know, I could use a proxy pylon out here to help bolster his forces. We check the production tab. Oh, we got Vikings coming out for wolfpack. I'm not sure what he's going to do with them. If he wants to do it for harass, that's fine. Maybe he suspects Colossus, which is, you know, pretty standard Protoss. I don't think we've got a Robo Bay, though. It'd be just about the only thing he doesn't have other than a Stargate tech path. He's getting a shield upgrade. I'd like to see him get the attack upgrade personally. The attack upgrades are pretty darn good. Shields, actually, you don't see shields that much, except for really, really late games. So I personally don't usually get shield upgrades. I go for attack and armor. Oh, and just as I say, he doesn't have Stargate tech, and here comes Stargates right now. But oh, that poor Marine. Looks like he's sending some Marines out just to poke around. I don't know what those Templar were doing, but this Marine is not long for this world. Oh, that was horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. A couple of photon cannons here. Oh, is he getting ready to move out? I better watch this. Not quite yet. Let's see if we can find that Stargate. Gateway, gateway. Good. He definitely needs more gateways. There's a Stargate. And that's just his observer keeping an eye on things. I'd almost like to see him get a Raven. He's got the resources for it. But actually, he's in big trouble. He's got to consider expanding now really soon, because he's going to, with all these SCVs, he's going to be tapped out here, and then he's going to be basically hoping that he can... he'd be in big trouble. Even with this huge army, he'd be in big trouble if he does not get a third base soon. And we do have some movement here. No, just kind of shifting position. I would like to see a little more aggression from somebody here. Although, again, Dunamai has got to be really careful about pushing out, because this is basically Fort Knox right here. This is not where you want to hit. I'd actually like to see him kind of break down these rocks and go in that way. Then he could take out this expansion, and Wolfpack would be hosed, absolutely hosed. I don't think he could move his army down there fast enough. Well, maybe the Marines, but he is going to be moving out with some Vikings, so it looks like we are getting some harass. And we're getting a Warp Prism out for Dunamai. So apparently he got that Stargate in order to get a Warp Prism. He seems to be having a tendency this game to build a tech building and then use a different one other than the one he just built, and his main is about to get hit. And he's trying to build a Phoenix, but a Phoenix is not going to do much to stop the attack right now. And he is going to be losing a lot of probes. Oh no, he's finally catching up in the probe count, and he's going to lose a lot, although there's not much left here, and this Phoenix has got nothing he can do right now. And this Warp Prism definitely has nothing he can do. Although, these are considered armor, so an Immortal is a good choice against it, but he is about to run out of time. Oh, well, he is going to take care of it. I think they could have focused him down, but Immortals do a lot of damage. 50 damage to armored, and he's not even having any upgrades yet, which I would like to see him get the attack upgrade. But he is actually he's just going for shields. I'd like to see him get a different upgrade other than shields. I would love to see an attack upgrade. He would have gone through those Immortals so much faster with an attack upgrade. And this Phoenix is... I'm not really sure what he got this Phoenix for. Maybe he's scouting with it. He is kind of scouting this base, maybe. And we do have a force moving out here. Maybe he's using this Warp Prism to hop on the high ground. But, oh, we do have a small force out here. And if they get any closer, they're going to start getting pelted. So let us see what he is up to. Oh, I see some clicking over here. Oh, he's just moving at his observer. You can't... There's not much you can do. guess he's just trying to figure out. He's just playing musical warp prism, I guess. He's loading up his zealots and oh, these stalkers gotta be careful. Oh, I guess the stalkers can blink up there, so that was actually well coordinated. Getting some more zealots and another stalkers, High Templar. I'm not really sure what he's planning to do. He's not really doing much of anything, and we are getting Hellions out. I'm not really sure why we're getting late game Hellions, unless he's planning on doing some Hellion drops, but I don't know about that. Now we're finally seeing something, and oh, the stalkers the stalkers are gonna blink into the base. Oh, he's gotta be careful. He's gonna lose his warp prism. They gotta take out that. Whoo! Ooh, that was close. He almost lost everybody in there, and that would have been bad. But now these stalkers are completely outmatched. The Marines are going to take them on. And oh, are we going to see it? Are we going to see it? Are we going to see us? Oh, no, he does not get the Psy Storm off in time. And this attack is just going to epically fail. Not really sure. Oh, and this Warp Prism could be in a bit of trouble. Oh, the Vikings are going to take out the Warp Prism. Wow, that's a lot of Vikings, considering he's got nothing he can shoot with them. He's not seen any Colossus. I suppose he's seen the Phoenix. He knows air is a possibility, but really, with all the Marines he has, he could hold off Void Rays. Carriers might be a concern, but he could scout for that. In fact, let's see what he knows. He's actually done almost no scouting here. That's unfortunate. Although he's getting level 2 attack upgrades for his ground. Oh, we're going to see another attack here, and what is this? Oh, another Templar bites the dust. And another Templar bites the dust. Like I said, he cannot attack here. This is the absolute worst possible point to attack. Absolute worst. And just a group of Marines here. This SCV should be. He need to take this base. He needs a base desperately. Look at he is tapped out. There is almost nothing left here. That one's about to go. That one's getting close. That one's about to go. Oh, and these Vikings are going to take out that poor Phoenix. The Phoenix gets one shot off, and that is about it. Please tell me he's taking an expansion. Thank you. He is taking an expansion. And I would actually like to see him turn this into a planetary fortress, personally. I would have liked to see him take this expansion. I think he could actually blast through this. If he just took his tanks down to the low ground here, moved his Marines forward, and started leapfrogging his tanks, he could absolutely just completely devastate this army and take full map control. That's one thing he does not have is map control. Dunamai has some modest map control right now. Wolfpack has just basically been sitting here building Fort Knox, as I said before, and he is almost maxed out. 198 to 117. Dunamai's got to be producing an army. He needs an army, and he has the resources for it. He could be producing so much more, and Wolfpack is giving him all the time in the world in which to do it. Oh, I think he spotted something. Oh, the Watchtower spotted these units, and they are not long for this world. The question is, are they going to see this expansion? Are they going to go up the ramp? They are going to go up the ramp, and this expansion is going to go down. But you know what? This would be the perfect time for him to move out, because he knows this army is engaged elsewhere. And these Vikings need to get out of there quickly. Go, Vikings, go! And really, Wolfpack, just move out. Start pushing forward. You are now out. You are now down to 100 minerals. You have 100 minerals left to mine. You could take any base on the map you wanted right now. You could come rolling in here and taking this one if you really want to do it. And I'd really like to see some saturation here. I mean, half an hour into this game and we haven't even broken 40 workers. That is not acceptable. Oh, we do have some more Vikings here. They are going to take out, or some more Phoenix here that are going to take out that Viking. And actually, they could lift up this tank and take it out. Oh, but now they're going to be going against the Vikings, and if they get too close, these Marines are going to... Oh, that was brutal. Oh, and now they are spotting for this tank, which is one thing Vikings are good for, is spotting for siege tanks. And they're still spotting for the siege tank. Oh, don't pull them back. Oh. Because Vikings are excellent at spotting for siege tanks because they're air, obviously, and they have such a huge range that if anyone tries to... Oh, and he's going to Psy Storm the tank. He's going to need a few more Psy Storms. Okay, I was actually being a bit, sorry, well, I guess he took it out, but I think that's kind of a waste of a Psy Storm for one tank when he could just put Stalkers there. As long as he's got no one to spot, he can just use Stalkers, and his army has just been pinged. And now Wolfpack is no money, and I still think he could absolutely take this game. He still has a ton of resources, he's still got a near maxed army, and now he's just going to do a mass move out. But he needs to not make the mistake, he needs to siege up his tanks now. He needs to siege up his tanks. There we go, siege up those tanks. Oh no, we got some Templar in there. We got Psy Storm. Oh, we got some Psy Storms here. I want to see another one. Give me more Psy Storm. Psy Storm. Oh, and he's gonna brutalize this army. I thought this army would roll him over, but a couple Psy Storms later, and there's almost nothing left. And he's got a couple of Immortals in there, and they are gonna do well to clean up the rest of this army. It's a couple of siege tanks left there, but that is gonna be it for the siege tanks. Oh my goodness, that huge army just melted away, and they should have just rolled over this army. And I guess the Psy Storms made the difference. He was not prepared for the Psy Storms. Actually, what he could have used is maybe some Ghosts. And it looks like he's going to move up into this base. There is a tank left, and a lot of Vikings. And he's going to Psy Storm the tank, and the tank is history. Yeah, he's going to have to land his Vikings because I don't think he's got anything else left. And oh, now the Vikings are going to get Psy Stormed. And oh, they're Psy Stormed again. He needs to not walk right through these Psy Storms. And this is going to clean up this. Check the army size, and he still has 59, but it is going down. And oh, now he's going to be producing Banshees. He doesn't have Banshee Cloak, so there's only a couple of Stalkers and a Sentry left, so he doesn't have much to attack it with. And he really needs to lift off the Stalkers, I think. Or sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. These aren't Wolfpack's Phoenixes. These aren't the Phoenixes you're looking for. Oh, and look at this train of SCVs running for their lives. And I don't know what these SCVs are going to do. They're going to be hounded the rest of their days. They could probably turn around and take this army, though. There's a lot of SCVs. I mean, there are one full page and then almost another half page of SCVs. Quickly diminishing, however. I just think that Wolfpack stayed back too long. I really thought his army was going to roll over the Protoss army, but all those Psy Storms just they turned the tide. And he kind of walked right into him. He needed to be a little more cautious instead of just barreling in. He just needed to inch in. I think he probably should have moved down to the bottom of his ramp, sieged there, and then, you know, established his position, moved forward, siege again, and just kind of slowly push his way forward. Keep your tanks sieged so that they can't get the Templar in range to Psy Storm everybody. And of course he waited way too long to expand. Unfortunately, when he did expand, he left his Marines right in the range of the Watchtower, which I think tipped him off, and that was maybe his undoing. If he'd been able to establish that base, and another Psy Storm, and oh, they're all just going to stand right in it, and another Psy Storm! And I think that's going to be it. Yeah, Wolfpack knows he's done, because he's got almost no resources left. He's got no SCVs, and he's gonna GG. So that was a very long, epic game, fairly slow. Both sides were a little bit timid about sticking a toe in the water. And in the end, Dunamai, who was the comeback kid, if you ask me, just because he had map control and got some really great size storms. So I hope you enjoyed that long 2v2 on Jungle Basin, and have a day.